Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Monday afternoon. I wanted to hop on here to Facebook. I think this is streaming to my YouTube channel and to LinkedIn and go over about 3, 4 tips I have on how running the half marathon, how training for the half marathon actually helps me help teenagers. So, I know right now is a stressful time between final exams and holidays. Teens are cranky, they're tired, and we want things to go smoothly, especially around Christmas or whatever holidays we celebrate. And sometimes it just doesn't go that way. So I thought I'd bring in, especially after I just completed the Kiowa half marathon, I'd bring in some strategies I've learned from pounding the pavement every other day in training for the half marathon. And for those of you who have known me, I've been a runner since I've been about 12 years old, and how a lot of the lessons I learn when I run actually help me help teens. So, for those of you listening out there, and a lot of my viewers watch this on the replay, if there's just one tip, if there's one strategy, if there's one idea I give you right now today on this Monday afternoon as we approach the holidays, as your kids are in final exams, that helps you, well, then I've done my good deed for the day. And so this is going to be a short but sweet live. And so here are the three tips I've gleaned. And number one is really picturing your goal, really picturing what do you want to be like as a parent working through this week when your teens are in final exams. You know they're probably going to be a little bit less responsive. You know they might even be rude. What is your response going to be? And I think picturing ourselves going through challenges like that, or if your teen says, I just don't understand this information and the final exam is in 2 days or it's tomorrow, how do you respond to that? Because I know oftentimes when my emotion gets in front of my logic, I don't give the best response. So it's just like when I'm approaching like mile 10 out of 13, I know it's going to be difficult for me, especially if, like you, under duress, especially if I'm running a little bit faster, which I do in a race compared to when I'm training, when I'm just running out for a nice run with my neighbor Catherine or by myself. I know I'm going to be feeling fatigued. I know I'm going to be in pain. So how do you respond to setbacks or challenges? And I think one thing that really helps me, it really helps me is to picture myself going through that challenge. So whether it's running or whether it's, an uncomfortable, stressful conversation with my teenager, if I can picture myself acting peaceful, and even if I don't have the best answer, to hold my emotions, I think it creates a happier situation. Then one of the other tips is helping your teen through this week with telling them consistency, right? Consistency with sitting down and studying. A lot of this studying is memorizing, right? A lot of it is working through math problems, chemistry problems, reviewing AP US history. And kids say, "Oh, I've studied so much." But have they shown up to sit down at their desk or go to the library or go to Starbucks and to really explain to them the logic and the benefits of consistently showing up and going through that material, just like I've consistently gotten out there and, stretched my muscles, stretched my mind when I am running. I think that one of the most important takeaways also during stressful times, whether it's something stressful physically or this week mentally with a lot of kids and final exams, is this: to embrace the discomfort, to create space for this discomfort. Do you remember being in final exams? I mean, if you were a motivated, driven student, it probably was very stressful for you. And I think a lot of you and myself become extra annoyed. We feel extra pain when we get aggravated with ourselves when there is a difficult situation. And so, my final tip for today, and this is very short, is just to accept and hold space for that pain, for that frustration. I think a lot of us parents today want to immediately fix a problem, meaning if our kids are stressed out. And does that really help them? And I know you're going to say, well, Amy, of course it doesn't. But how does that feel for you if it is a difficult week? If if it is a difficult time of year, and to just accept that instead of fighting it. I know for me, it just releases some of the knots inside, which eventually helps me think more clearly, which eventually helps me help the specific situation at hand, whether it's helping a student with an English paper or study for an English final exam, or believe it or not, we're still working on college admissions essays, whether it helps me with my own kids and just thinking through a clear, lucid response, as opposed to again letting that emotion get in the way to say, this is okay, that this is uncomfortable right now. So I think a lot of those tips that I've experienced with my running and competing in the half marathon, and now I'm reflecting upon some difficult times I had during that past race last Saturday, are so connected to the success that my tutors and I have in working with teens on their college admissions essays, on their lit analysis essays, on their narrative essays, on their research papers. And so I think it's really helpful when we can look and see what is working for other people. And so I will repost these tips in the comments. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if your son or daughter, if they're really struggling in their freshman, sophomore, junior year high school English classes, if you have a student in college who never grasped the basics or even more sophisticated English or language arts skills, please don't hesitate and reach out to us. And believe it or not, we are registering parents for their current juniors for upcoming college admissions essays. So if you'd like more information, please message me. If you'd like to join my weekly newsletter, where I drop a ton of value bombs for students and parents on how to succeed with all kinds of essays, please message me, or you can go to my website, which is totalwritingenrichment.com, and you can opt in for my newsletter where you can receive these weekly tips. And there's a lot of inspiration tied in too. So thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, take care and get through this week. Bye bye.